Hey everybody, it's your girl, the Blue Empress. Hope everyone is having a good day, well, evening, I guess now, or should I say night? I don't know. It's just, oh my God, my head's been all over the place today. And welcome to another episode of Blues World. I know normally when I do these videos, I pretty much just go running off at the mouth about any and anything that's going on in my life, which was pretty much the aspect of this whole entire series, whatever, of, Blues World. So I thought maybe I just narrow it down to just one particular subject, and then that way I can pretty much just throw out things out there for you guys to get to know me, behind the scenes here. I pretty much have been dealing with a disorder for about a year now, and it's called Major Depressive Disorder. It's, pretty much, depression. And pretty much I have been suffering from, depression since after the birth of my first child. And the reason being how that all got started was during that time, my husband was serving in the Navy. And after I had our first child, he wound up getting sent away for 6 months. He was only with me and our first child for probably about 5-6 days. And then after that, he was just automatically sent off, for a 6-month deployment. Imagine you just had a child, you're a new mother, you're in a whole new different city and state, you do not know anyone, you have no family out there to rely on. You're pretty much just out there with a bunch of strangers. And that's where I was. That was the person I was back then at the time. This was in 2004 because our firstborn was born in June of 2004. So after he got deploy over for, to go on this little 6-month deployment, I was just hurt. We both were hurt. Okay. We both bawled out crying when, I took him over to the, to his terminal because, they had their own terminal, whatever, to where they can catch a plane and go fly wherever they need to go. He was gone. I just had our baby. I have no clue what the hell to do. So I really just sunk into depression. Like I really just did not know what to do with myself. I really did. And it was just crazy. So I wound up getting put on Zoloft to manage my depression. But in the end, I still felt like it wasn't enough. Again, I was surrounded by people. I had no idea who they were. I had a friend named Heather. So I befriended her. I chilled out with her while my husband was gone. And then I got word that my aunt had passed away. And I knew that my father was fin to get remarried in August. And my aunt passed away. Her funeral was in June, I think. So I had two choices. It was neither I was going to stay out there where I was, which was in Oak Harbor, Washington, or I was going to go all the way back home to Michigan to be surrounded by my family. So my dad graciously bought me a ticket, and me and my daughter Diamond went all the way out there. What does this all have to do with, me having depression? Well, like I said in the beginning of of this video, I was a new mom. Okay. I just had a baby. No one taught me how to pay a bill. Nobody did not tell me as far as where to get, emotional support, whatnot, to help me get through this. This was my first time going through this. The other Navy wives went through this, and obviously they didn't give it two shits that their man was going to be gone. Okay, they're going to be gone for 6 months. Oh, whoop-de skippity fucking doo-dah. But with me and my husband, we have that extremely close bond with each other. And, we've been separated way before he even got into the Navy. We're high school sweethearts. And I've had family issues and whatnot that caused us to be separated. You might as well say we were the classic Romeo and Juliet, because neither one of our families, I can't really necessarily say his family. His family did want us to be together, but my family did not want him anywhere near me. But oh well. Oh, that's another story. But even though I was taking the medication, I wind up stopping it. And I don't know why, considering you're supposed to take it. And I stopped because I was around family and I tried to do everything in my power just to not, fall down into severe depressed mode. Obviously, it didn't matter for the simple fact that he was still gone for 6 months. I was still away from my husband. My daughter was away from her father. Every time he called, I put the phone up to her ear so that she can hear her dad's voice. When he sent me a picture through my email, I showed her a picture of her dad, just to let her know that that was her father. But still, the simple fact, I was still hurt because he was gone. It's like, okay, we just set foot down in Oak Harbor, Washington, and already you guys just sent him away from us. Like, that's not cool. Like, he just had a baby, for God's sake. I would think you would have, at least let him just get away with this one, and maybe the next appointment he can go. No, you guys took him away from me, and that sucks. So after my hubby came back home after the 6-month deployment, I wasn't depressed anymore. I was cool. I was copacetic. He was home. The real good thing that came out of this is that when I got back, I got us a washer and dryer. I got us a microwave. I got us a TV combo that had the VCR and the DVD player. I bought him a video game that he had no idea was out. I turned our house into a home. I would say it's kind of like a Luther Vandross, but he said this house is not a home. But I turned our house into a home. Because when he got there, he was just in shock and awe, because he was like, our place did not look like this before we left. I'm like, I know. Because I was trying to turn this place into a home so it can feel like home. And I made sure it did. So my depression was, I don't know if you could say it evaporated or it just sunk into the point where it didn't bother me because he was home. Now, he did go on another deployment, but I think it was just for 2 months. But I still went home with my family to chill out with them until it got close time for him to come home. So, yeah, I think that was probably the only times he actually went on deployment. He went twice. The longest one was the toughest one because I just had our firstborn child. The second deployment he went on, I was pregnant with our son. And again, thank God I did not get depressed because, again, he was only gone for 2 months. 2 or 3 months. I could be wrong, but I think it might have been 2. So fast forward till 2017. In 2017, January, the beginning of basically when we brought on the new year, I found out I was pregnant. Yeah, thank you, birth control pills. You suck. So I wound up finding out that I was pregnant last year in January. So mind you, I told myself that I wanted to start off the new year right. I just wanted to stay focused on my school because I enrolled in school last year, in the beginning of last year. So I just wanted to focus on school and my job at the time. I was a housekeeper at the Comfort Suites. So I wanted to focus on that. But then all of a sudden, boom, bang, I'm pregnant. Of course, I did the usual thing. I went to the Dollar Tree and I took a pregnancy test. And of course, it turned out positive. But I went through the urgent care and they ran a pregnancy test. And of course, it came out that I was pregnant. Even though I take a pregnancy test at home, ladies, I'm not saying they're not accurate, but always make sure that you go to urgent care or emergency to get tested just to be on the safe side, because there's such thing as a false positive. So just to throw that out there to you ladies out there. So of course I found out I was pregnant. I was scared to tell my husband whatnot, but you know, of course I wound up telling him. He was going to find out anyway. I told him and he was thrilled. So the fact that he was thrilled, I was relaxed and I'm like, okay, cool, this is going to be okay. Unfortunately, I started to bleed. And I thought maybe that was normal because I did look it up. But as my husband tells me, and what I hear a lot of people say, don't trust everything on the internet because it doesn't mean that it's true. Which, of course, is a correct fact. But I was bleeding, and my doctor at the time said that I might be in the middle of having a miscarriage. And I'm sitting here freaking out. Like, I am hoping and praying to God that I am not having a miscarriage. I brought 4 healthy children into this world. I do not want to lose this baby. That's not cool. So throughout that whole duration, I'm cramping up really bad, but I just mainly assumed that was just, you know, the baby, you know, stretching out and you know, whatnot. But I was still bleeding. So they said if I'm still bleeding, that means I'm still having a miscarriage. But if it turns brown, then I'm in the clear. So I'm sitting over here looking up things on the internet. If there was any way for me to stop a miscarriage from happening, is there any way I could stop it from happening? People, I just wanted to just know what the hell. And there was nothing I can do. I went as far as going to the church right up the street from my home, and they have this big cross that's like lit up. I pulled into the church parking lot. I got out my car, and I literally stood in front of that cross praying to God. God, please, I don't want to lose this baby. I brought 4 healthy children into this world. I want to continue to bring in whatever healthy child that you bless me with. Please, God, don't take this child away from me. But unfortunately, I wound up having a miscarriage. And people, when I tell you I was hurt, I was sad, I was beside myself, and like any classic thing that women do when it comes to a miscarriage, that they blame themselves. And I did. I blame myself because I feel that I am the one that caused the miscarriage, because that night in question, I was drinking, which was vodka and champagne. I had made a New Year's drink, and I was drinking that. I don't think I drank all of it because the taste itself, I guess, wasn't up to par how I wanted it. So I think I wound up pouring the rest of it out. So I told my doctor that I think that was a contribute to me possibly having a miscarriage. The thing was, people, there was no embryo or anything that came out of me. It was just blood. From what I was told, I had a chemical pregnancy. But the fact still remains is this: a miscarriage is a miscarriage. It's still considered a child, regardless. So I told my husband. He was hurt. I was hurt. I seriously thought this was going to hurt my relationship with my man. I really did. My children were geeked up about it. And the fact that I had to tell them that I lost their possible brother or sister, it hurt. Because again, I brought 4 healthy children into this world, and now I lost one. So I took the initiative to put myself on my depression pills myself, because something told me that I was going to fall into depression. And I thought that I had gotten over it. I really thought I did. I went on about the days. I kept going. I stayed focused on my school. I didn't buy anything that would resemble possibly having a kid, nothing. So another thing that I did is that I decided to get on birth control, this time the IUD. I went into the office. I told my doctor, I want to get the IUD implanted. I want the IUD for birth control. And she asked me, are you sure you don't want to try again? I'm like, I just had a miscarriage. I'm not finna go through that again. And of course, the doctor at the time said that just because you had this one miscarriage, that does not mean that you'll have another one with the next go around. And I said, well, how can you be sure of that? How do you know? So I just merely decided to just get birth control, just get IUD instead of popping a pill every day. Because there have been days where I forgot to take it, and that was my fault. So I got the IUD implanted at me, and I went on about my business. And I did not have to sit over there and, think or even possibly think that I was going to get impregnated again and possibly suffer another miscarriage. But now thinking about it, I have come to terms that it wasn't my fault. It was just something that happened, and that's just how it goes. And then another thing I thought spiritually is that maybe this child was going to give us more problems that we can handle right now. Maybe God was telling me that this baby's not for you. This baby will give you problems, and you don't need that on you right now. And God's not going to put so much baggage on you that you can't bear. I'll say it like that. So I now know that it wasn't my fault. But I went to the doctor before, and I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. And I seriously believe that the miscarriage just took me from just regular old depression to just major depressive disorder, because, I've had a miscarriage. I lost a best friend to cancer that I have not seen in a long time. I have not seen my best friend in a long time. He passed away from that. My hubby lost, I guess you call him a stepfather or whatever, but he passed away. What else here? People have their ups and downs. We all have our ups and downs, but we always get through it. That's what makes us so incredible in this world. But it was a lot, to say the least. I am on medication right now. I have been doing well. To tell you the truth, I think I show more anger than I do sadness. I think the only time I'll show sadness is if it involves, like I said, losing, a loved one. That's probably the only time where I'm sad. Like I said, I mainly show more of anger side than I do a depression side. And I know lately I've been hearing, celebrities, committing suicide and, things like that. And, some of them had depression, and they didn't say anything, they kept quiet, or some of them did come out and say, hey, yeah, I suffer from depression too. And people, it's no joke. I don't know who said this, but I was on, I think it was on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. Someone said that, you can control your depression. You can choose to be happy, and you can choose to be sad. It's not that easy. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain. We can't help that. There are things in life that affect someone a whole lot more worse than you can. You may not cry. You might just be like, you'll cry for a minute, then it's like, okay, I did my crying, moving on. A depressed person would be like, why did it happen? It never should have happened. What could I have done to prevent this from happening? It affects people differently, is what it is. It's not the fact that we choose to be depressed. That's not what it is. We want to be happy. We want to be able to enjoy the daily activities that once upon a time we used to enjoy, and now we can't, because why? we're depressed. Hence why we have medication out there. Hence we have, counselors out there. I mean, there are other methods for depression. Some work, some don't. One of them did say electroshock therapy, and I don't recommend y'all to use that. I'm just saying, electroshock therapy. I did a paper on depression because they were asking me that depression can only be treated with medication only, and that's not true. There are other methods. And when I looked it up, they said something about electroshock therapy. I'm like, why would I want to electroshock therapy? Why would I want to do that? That sounds very painful. So you basically want me to fry my circuits? You want me to fry my brain cells so I can, what the hell? I don't recommend that. To anyone out there who has depression, please get help. Please, get a counselor, go to your doctor, get on some kind of medication. Please, but don't get electroshock therapy. I am begging you, please do not consider electroshock therapy. If you enjoy getting electrocuted, that's your prerogative. But please don't. Please do not do that. So, yeah, people, I mean, to the people out there who don't understand depression and is so quick to open their mouth and say some sarcastic shit about it, you know what? Pick up a book and read on it. Okay? Pick up a book and read. Know your information. Know about the subject. Don't jump to the conclusions. Don't jump the gun. Don't sit over here and make it seem like we're weaklings and we're just doing this for attention and all this other mess. That's not what we're doing. Okay? We're suffering. Hence why these celebrities are killing themselves, because maybe they didn't have anyone to talk to, or they were trying to deal with it themselves. And guess what happened? They're gone. They're dead and gone, leaving behind their friends and families trying to figure out, well, what they could have done better, why you didn't say anything, why you didn't reach out for help or whatnot. All I am saying is, people, that when it comes to depression, I am here for you. I understand how you feel. Because I don't want you to be depressed. I don't want my friends nor family to go through what I went through. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But it's no joke. And depression can lead to suicide. And that is the last thing that I want to think about. I have not had suicidal thoughts. I'm going to throw that out there too. I have not had any suicidal thoughts. Are there days where I want to pull my hair out because of these kids? Yes. But you know what? I'd rather pull out my hair dealing with my kids than contemplate on taking my own life. That's the way I see it. I'd rather yell and scream at my kids for doing wrongdoings than sit over here and contemplate about killing myself. I would prefer me and my husband have an argument over whatever than contemplate about killing myself. There is a lot of things in life that I would rather deal with that are non-lethal than contemplating about killing myself. I will not do that. I don't want to be that one individual in the family that takes her life and leaves her family and friends behind wondering what they could have done more to have kept me from thinking like that. I won't do that to them. I won't do that to my friends. I won't do that to my hubby. I won't do that to my kids. I won't do that to anybody that I love and care about. And loyalty is everything to me. Everything. But I am going to put a phone number in the description box for people that have the need help. Okay, whether it's depression, suicide, if you have any of those thoughts in your head, please seek help. Don't take your life. Because it's not a video game where once you die, you can press start and do it over again. It's not like that. Once you die, that's it. The only person that can bring you back to life is the Lord Almighty. That's his decision, not yours. But life is not a video game where once you die, you can start all over. But I don't want anyone to suffer with depression. And some people are like, you crazy as hell. You funny as hell. You crack jokes and everything. How in the world you get depressed? That goes to show you people that I am not invincible. I am not immune to anything. I'm not. I am not perfect, nor I don't claim to be perfect. I am imperfect, and that's perfectly fine with me. I came up with that slogan myself. That's what I tell myself because I know that I'm not perfect. That's what I say. I'm not perfect, nor I don't claim to be perfect. I'm imperfect, and that's perfectly fine with me. That's what I say to myself. Remember that, people. The Blue Empress for life is imperfect. I may throw out my opinions out there and I may say some things, but at the end of the day, I don't know the person. I don't know the situation. I'm just giving you my opinion. Am I right? No. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. So please, don't take it the wrong way. That's all I'm saying. But people, I just thought that I talk about a subject that is important because we're losing a lot of people in this world to suicide and depression, and they're not getting help. They're not seeking help. They're not acknowledging that they need help. And if I can save someone's life by telling you my experience with depression, then at least I will feel a lot better knowing that I helped one instead of none. But I will put a phone number in the description box for you all that suffer from depression. If you feel depressed, if you feel like you are going to contemplate suicide, please call the number in the description box and seek help. And remember this, you are important, you are loved, you deserve to be happy, you deserve to get help. And please seek help if you feel you have depression or you want to kill yourself. Until then, I love you all. Good night. And as always, bow down to royalty. Good night.